You can close your eyes, sit cross-legged, lay down something symmetrical. Take a deep breath through your belly. And then feel love in your sternum, your heart center. Close your eyes and generate the feeling of love right there. And then feel that. And every time you have a thought, let go of that thought and redirect your attention back to the sensation of love in your sternum, your heart center. It might even be your thyroid or your thymus too. And as you do that inside of your mind, feel that you are observing your thoughts. You're not the one thinking, you're observing how the thoughts naturally generate. And you generate the feeling of love. Every time you get distracted, every time you start thinking about something, redirect your attention. Every time you redirect your attention, that is a repetition. And as you perform more repetitions, this ability becomes stronger and stronger. And then over time, your baseline state of consciousness will be more and more centered in that state of being. Unlike weightlifting, you can do infinite repetitions. There is no overtraining when it comes to meditation. You can grind the fuck out of your meditation and get amazing progress. In the past, I've gone through periods where I've been like super focused and you can change your life quick. And so, just like going to the gym, you know, you might not get an insane pump and feel amazing every time you go to the gym. But that doesn't mean you quit going to the gym. Just because your bicep isn't bigger every time you do an arm workout doesn't mean you quit working out. The same applies for meditation. You might feel like you're not doing anything. Hey, well, meditate 100 hours. And then you can actually say you tried meditation. Oh, I tried meditation. I don't think it did anything for me. How much did you meditate? 20 minutes? 3 times? How about you meditate 20 minutes every morning, every night for 6 months? And throughout your whole life, just like a look-spaxer muse, like the mewing, you probably know what that is if you're watching this video. Just like somebody mews, you focus on mindfulness all day long. You constantly redirect your attention to paying attention to how you feel. Every time you catch yourself feeling bad, you just observe how you feel bad. You don't say, I feel bad. You say, I notice that I feel bad. You know, I notice that I feel that. You don't say, I do feel that. You say, I notice that I feel that. And then you have compassion in the moment. And as you develop spiritual wisdom, spiritual experiences, you can see how everything is significant and that the negative is necessary. And every experience you go through in your life is important. And everything has meaning. Nothing is meaningless. And then you can appreciate that. And then have compassion every moment. And as you go throughout your life, you know, let go of attachment, let go of expectations of future, let go of judgment, compassion. And so when I was rereading Ram Dass's book, Be Here Now, Be Loved Now, it's like sometimes there's homeless people on the street who are completely crazy. They might seem crazy, but they could be a lot closer to God than you are. Just because they don't have possessions, you know, I might judge somebody like, oh, they're stupid, they're making bad decisions, they're doing this and that. But on a soul level, despite all that, somehow they could still be closer to God. They could still have a higher spiritual development. You know, their body might be messed up. They might have gone through things in their life. But on a soul level, they could be further than I am. And I'm trying to let go of my own judgment of where people are in their path. You don't really know where somebody is in their path. You might judge somebody as being naive, ignorant, but if you actually knew, they could be way further than you are, way farther. And so, anytime you have a judgment, let go. Just have compassion for them as a soul. And just see what happens with the experience. Don't expect what's going to happen. Yes, you can judge. You know, sometimes make executive decisions. You can still do that. And when you have an expectation of the future, so when somebody gives you something and they take it away, it hurts a lot more than if you never had it in the first place. So by having an expectation of the future, by having an attachment to what you think is going to happen, if that doesn't happen, that attachment creates suffering. So don't stay attached to what you think will happen, what you want to happen. Stay in the moment, feel it as is. Whatever happens is supposed to happen. But you're still meant to apply your own will to make an effort to make something happen. So even if you did fail in something because you didn't work hard enough, theoretically, you were meant to fail. And you're supposed to go through that in order to learn. And this ties into the no free will thing, but that's complicated, and sometimes that makes people depressed, but it's really not something to be depressed about. And so, let go of expectations of the future. Right now, in this moment, what's the best thing you could possibly be doing right now? And as long as you do what you know is right, what you're supposed to be doing, let go of all expectations. You tried your best. It doesn't matter if it happens or not, as long as you tried your best. And if it doesn't work out, don't fret over it because you had no control over it. So why worry about something you had no control over? And the fact of you worrying about it, feeling bad about it, generates negative emotion, which then in turn creates negative manifestations. And people can sense that energy off of you, so they'll have a lesser experience of who you are. They won't feel as good around you, and your experience of life will be worse. So constantly you have to center yourself in that compassion. And